So what I want to do now is I want to take this, and my people on IG, you're not gonna see this, but my people on here gonna be able to see it. I want to break down what I'm talking about with this artificial intelligence and emotional intelligence again, man. So like with artificial intelligence, guys, that's robotic, right? That's more of what we're gonna call technique. All right, we're gonna call it technique. So what technique says is I know how to do something exactly the way I'm supposed to do it, right? So artificial intelligence isn't just like robots, it could be in humans too. And when I say that, it's like the way that we end up learning a lot of times when we in formal school, when we grow up, right? You grow up, you learn the technique of how to do something. You learn the technique of how to break down algebraic equations. You learn the technique on how to balance equations in science. You learn the technique of how to orate and put together subject-verb agreements in English. But you don't quite always see individuals come out of our schools, and this is something we aiming to change, but you don't quite always see individuals be creative thinkers, right? So technique is more your artificial intelligence, but this is versus your creative thinkers. Now, your creative thinkers are the people in this world that move this world, right? Because creative thinkers say that this world is not what I am going to continue to live in. I'm going to bring something to this world that's going to change this world forever. I'm going to bring something to this world that's different, that's maybe a different spin on the wheel that we've already gotten rolling, because we are all individuals bringing a unique perspective. So then when you're talking about that creative thinking versus that technique thinking, it's saying that this world is mine, right? This world is mine. If this world was mine, y'all know nothing about that. So when I'm talking about this world being mine, creativity, Albert Einstein says, is just intelligence having fun, right? Having fun with intelligence, man. It's fun to be able to be in a situation where you can be your intellectual self. We all have an area of expertise. You have to know what your area of expertise is and be able to live in it within that and create more and more of whatever it is that you love to do, create more and more of that childlike spirit that's harnessed within us that we forget about as we grow up in age. We get more mature, we become socially acceptable, we become machines essentially. We become crowd minded, you know what I'm saying? We pack animals. So we assimilate to the pack. You are going to assimilate to the popularity within your social class, within your social group, your friend group. We start talking like the people at the barbershop, right? We start talking like the people in the break room. We start thinking like the people in the church. We are going to assimilate to be able to be accepted. This is the pack mentality. But here's the deal: it is very uncommon and it's very unpopular, and it's almost going against your biology to break against that and take the individuality within yourself to make your own decisions based on what you truly feel is true, right? That is not a normal situation. Creatives are usually attacked. You know what I'm saying? They violently oppose until they create something that changes the world. You know, they change their communities, they change their entire um reach through, you know, products, through services, through art, through just different ways of expression. You can't be afraid of the creativity because it allows you to say that now I'm taking accountability for the things happening in my life through my own mind's eye and my own heart, my own moral code, my own values, right? That's a difficult part to get to. And we have to be able to encourage that within one another, encourage it within the children, encourage it within yourself. Because a lot of times when you bash other people for their creativity and when they express themselves, it's because you're projecting, right? Your anger, your jealousy, your envy is coming from a fact that you don't feel like you allowed to be creative. So how you think you allowed to be creative out here? Who do you think you are trying to go out here and make a brand new dietary supplement? Who do you think you are going out here and try to submit your artwork to the Austin Art Institute? Who are you to think that you're able to, you know what I'm saying, create a master plan to be able to become the greatest real estate investor of all time? Why do you think that you're able to do these things? You are projecting, my good friend. This is all coming from inside of you. This is the broken parts of you. You have to heal yourself before you can come into relationships with other people, because what you do is all you do is you project, you project, you project. And depending on your social situation, where you coming from, you are projecting somebody else's mindset. You could be out here projecting negativity, low frequency behavior, low frequency mindsets, but it's not your mindset, guys. You were given this, you assimilated to this position. So now it's important that you break yourself against your old mindset and unlearn that stuff and relearn who you are. You got to relearn who you are. You once knew who you were. When you were a small child, it's probably when you were the most authentic self you've ever been. You got to get back to that person. And then you got to hold yourself accountable to stay that person. And the only way you're going to hold yourself accountable is if you're around individuals that hold you accountable. If you make parameters, if you make disciplines, if you create guidelines within your own life that support you in being accountable, and then, and only then, can you really set yourself on a path that's uniquely your own, utilizing creativity, utilizing emotional intelligence, utilizing all the things that's going to take to be able to advance you and push you into a world that you could be proud to live in, right? Not nobody else. Nobody else. Honestly, we don't want to continue to live in this world, right? Not the world as it is. We want to progress. That's why businesses get business grants. That's why, you know, we got welfare. That's why we got, everybody wants to push us forward, right? We don't want to live in this world. Everybody wants to push forward the individuals on this planet, because without progression, then we dying. And when we're talking about this economy, as this economy goes backwards and we start dying and we don't have any more creativity and we don't create any more goods and services and we can't agree on nothing, everything is a civil issue, then we're gonna get taken over by a whole nother country. You know, we have to come to a point where we are owning what we love to do. We own who we are as people, so that, you know, we can create value in this country. We can create value in this world. We can create value within ourselves. And the only way we can do that is if you take accountability. Action, 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 action. A wise man once said, the way to get something started is to quit talking and begin doing. That's why I honestly have not been streaming like I want to, is because I get a complex when I start to talk too much, because I'm thinking like, man, I'm talking, I need to go act. I need to go make something happen. I need to do something with my hands. I need to do something with my feet. I need to do something with my mind, because I'm creating that accountability within myself. So I have to be intentional about every single use of my time throughout my 24-hour span. And we all know that 24 hours is a man-made construct. Really, it's the sun up to sundown. Whenever that circadian rhythm says it's time for me to get to work, then I need to get to work. It's 4 o'clock right now. But we're on a different frequency out here. We're on the highest frequency of any platform. So this is the reason why the Light Institute is cooking right now. It's because that I have to be able to say that my intentions are aligned with my goals, with my visions, with my passion, right? And my passion has to be aligned with others. It can't just be on my time. It got to be on everybody's time, because the thing is, without more than just yourself, then you'll never be able to make something substantial. You'll never be able to push your goals and your visions in a dimension where you want to be. They're going to continue to be in your little world, your little space, and you're going to be frustrated with the things you create, because you don't benefit nobody but yourself, and you're going to be penny pinching. So then I want to talk about a little bit of you know, opinion, right? So I got a quote for y'all. So opinion is really the lowest form of human knowledge. It requires no accountability, no understanding. The highest form of knowledge, though, is empathy, for it requires us to suspend our egos and live in another's world. It requires profound purpose larger than self kind of understanding. opinion is the lowest form of human knowledge. This is from Bill Bullard. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, we're in a situation where opinion is king for a lot of people, right? A lot of people want to always validate how they feel. Well, this is what I think. This is what I think. And as I said before, the creativity is important. You should have a thought. You should have your own understanding you bring to the table. But in this quote, you also have to analyze the fact that it says it's the lowest form of human knowledge because the highest form is empathy, the ability to suspend the ego. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That is the biggest issue that us men have as men, you know, in work, in play, in family. Ego. Ego will be the reason why you can't say sorry for something you did 10 years ago. Something you did 10 years ago, you still can't say sorry for it. And because you can't say sorry, you damage the relationship with somebody you care about very much. And this person is thinking on the other side of the ego, this person just don't care. This person is just cold. But it's not that. It's more so the fact that you can't put yourself to the side for long enough to be able to say, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. I did it, but I didn't mean to do that. No, you would rather hold on to your false truth for as long as possible to make yourself look good, when in reality, you should be denying yourself in front of other people because vulnerability is the only real power on this planet. You should be denying yourself in front of other people because vulnerability is the most powerful tool on this planet. Vulnerability is what makes people truly trust you. And it's the only way you really gonna trust yourself, because your mind, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference from when you lie to other people to when you lie to yourself. And as you lie, you build that ego, you build this Superman, this Superwoman, right? You build this person up, but this person is only outside of you. This person is not within you. There's a little boy, a little girl within you. You have to tell that little boy, little girl the truth, right? You have to tell that little liar the truth. You lied today. You lied today, right? You got to keep it real. You were not truthful when you went into that situation and you told that person that they hair look nice. You thought they looked crazy. Keep it a buck. You thought that looked crazy. The little thing they did with the look. Nah, you ain't like that. You lied today. Now, do you have to always say exactly what's on your mind? Absolutely not. Some things are not better left unsaid for now. But you need to understand that you lied. Some of y'all don't understand y'all lying. And you're in this perfect optimism world where everything is so beautiful and it's all great. And I just love everybody. And you got, oh my gosh, I just love the way. Oh, it's okay, honey. You don't have to tell, oh, it's okay. You don't have to. Nah, that's not your reality. You're lying. You're lying. You're not keeping it a buck. A buck says, hey, I want things to go well. I want the best out of the world. I want the best out of my life, but I'm well aware that I have a darker side to me that people don't know about. And that darker side of me could come out. If you bump my car in this parking lot, you might see a whole different Sloan. You know what I'm saying? You might see a whole different Sloan, but I'm not trying to bring that guy out. So when I start to feel that coming, I got to be real with myself and say, is this my highest self or is this my lowest self, right? Is this me operating on the highest frequency I can operate on, or is this me being an individual that's reacting to what's happening in my life? And I didn't create a plan of action going into the situation to say, when this happens, let's not take myself down here, right? And when I act in a way that isn't consistent with where I want to go, I have to be honest and say, hey, everybody, this is my mess up. I'm Will Smith. I smacked Chris Rock. I smacked the hell out of that man. I didn't mean to smack him like that. I lost control. Accountability. That's to be respected. That's called vulnerability. And that's the only real power on this planet. If you're unable to do that, you are not powerful, you're weak, and you will be exposed. So you might as well expose yourself. Anything, this is the thing, man. Anything that happens on this planet that can't happen to you, you might as well do it to yourself. Because we're always in training, guys. Anything you're not prepared for, when you met with it, you will cower, you will fold, and you're gonna fall to the level of your training. You have not trained, then you will be trained. And if you lose to the adversary, if you lose to whatever it is that you up against, you will be revisited by it over and over and over. You will be revisited by the fact that you cannot sustain a relationship because you are unjust and you don't empathize. You will be revisited by the fact that you have poor money management skills, because every time you get cash, you spend it on everything that your desires want, but you never spend it and invest it on things that your soul want, right? You're gonna always revisit the fact that, you know, you can't be successful because you just literally don't execute on anything, and you just start stuff, and you got all kind of projects all over the house, all over your life that you started, but you have not finished. You're not a finisher. You got to keep it real with yourself. That's the only way we're going to have real growth on this planet. And that's accountability, that's emotional intelligence, and that's the way to the next level. So, I mean, we got to make a decision, guys. And we ain't got a lot of time. We ain't got a lot of time. So I really want to talk about, you know, being a victor versus being a victim. So when you're talking about being a victor versus being a victim, I initially started this conversation with saying, what if you couldn't control anything in your life, right? What if there was nothing about your life that you had control over, and everything you were at the mercy of, right? You were at the mercy of the weather. You was at the mercy of the teacher. You was at the mercy of the boss. You're at the mercy of your mama. You're at the mercy of your wife. You're at the mercy of your girlfriend. You're at the mercy of your kids. You're at the mercy of everything in your environment, right? Everything is pulling you every which way, right? That's a victim. That's a victim's mindset. And what a victim's mindset says is that everything's happening to me, right? But I'm here to say that everything, and this is a quote I got from one of my great mentors. Shout out to Coach Jesse Burleson. Everything is to your advantage. Everything is to your advantage. We are like the grass, right? When you throw manure on the grass, the purpose of the manure is to grow the grass, right? So you throw the manure in the grass starts to stink. It looks bad. You know, people would be like, man, what's on the grass, right? Somebody that doesn't understand farming would be like, why y'all throwing all that manure on the grass like that? It's really making the environment unpleasant for everybody. But the skilled farmer and the skilled landscaper understands that what that does is it seeps within the particles of the dirt, and it'll start to encourage growth, right? And as it encourages growth, then you see more grass and you see beauty, right? It's beautifying the land. And that's what our life is. It's as we get more manure and we get more adversity and we get more of these unfortunate events, again, it's like training us. It's getting us more used to stress, and stress creates things, and it builds beautiful structures and beautiful mindsets and beautiful, man, it's beautiful pain, dog. It's a beautiful pain, but you have to be able to realign yourself in order to see the benefit in the pain, in the adversity, in the discomfort, right? So that's a victim to a victor. You will become victorious. That's a given. Because at the end of the day, if you have intention, if you have a goal, if you are aligned and you have a purpose, a journey, your journey will be filled with adversity. And if it's not filled with adversity, it's not a journey to be on at all. The skilled traveler has to have obstacles in order to prove that he's skilled, right? You have to be met with something. And when you get met with these things, then are you going to overcome, or are you going to succumb to the outcome of what's happening within your life? You have to be a person that can understand the totality, the polarity, and the entire spectrum of what life is, and be able to overcome it anyway through emotional intelligence, right? Being emotionally aware, being seeped and steeped within the reality of the present moment, because the present is a present. Have a great day. It's Light Institute. We out.